What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Steps Ahead TV. Hopefully you're having a safe and productive day today. On today's video, I'll be giving you guys my top 5 tips on how to buy shoes while on a budget. Now, I felt like this was a good video to bring to you guys just because I feel like most of us don't just have a limited amount of money just to spend on sneakers. So having a good budget set to the side definitely helped me to navigate through the sneaker world. So I felt like I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 tips that I use each and every time that I go purchase sneakers, and I definitely think it'll help you out. So if you like saving money, this is the video for you. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and press that like and subscribe button, because over here on Steps Ahead TV, we drop weekly content from either brand reviews, sneaker reviews, clothing hauls, or videos similar to this one. You guys don't want to miss out on any of this content. So go ahead and press that like and subscribe and join the Steps Ahead gang. The Steps Ahead gang, you guys already know. Welcome back as we continue to grow each and every week. And let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first tip that I have, and I feel like is the most important tip, and that is having yourself an actual budget. Now this right here would take just a little bit longer, but sitting down and figure out what you can actually afford for that month is definitely something that's important, so you don't actually go over the budget, spending more than you really have, and you're not able to save because you're spending all your money on shoes. Now your bills are past due. That's not what we do over here on Steps Ahead TV. We put ourselves in a good position to budget, so where we can spend and still be able to save and still have that money for rainy days. So first tip I'm gonna tell you, get yourself a comfortable budget. That right there brings us into tip number 2. So for tip number 2, which is just as important as the first tip, that is to not impulse buy. Now this could be pretty tricky and kind of hard just because they're always coming out with new trendy shoes or new trendy items, or you know, the phase that goes through. You kind of want to stay away from those just because it doesn't really fall into the budget when you think about it, because if you want to actually sell something later on down the line, something that's trendy, you know, 2-3 years, you probably won't be able to get as much money back from it, instead of you just grabbing something that's like a solid piece and not something that's here today, gone tomorrow. So I would definitely say not to impulse buy. Definitely look around. Don't just shoot at the first thing you see. You, like I said before, you have your budget, you want to stick to it, and you want to spend your money the best way possible. So impulse buying, I definitely stay away from that. I'm always going into it looking like, okay, if I get these, what could I wear with? What's the versatility on these? Is this something that I can only wear once or twice, or something that I can wear multiple times? So that's something that I always go into. Tip number 2, don't impulse buy. Now let's get into tip number 3. So for tip number 3, if you follow my first 2 tips, this right here falls right into line of staying on budget, and that is finding yourself some local outlets. Now when I tell you, the local outlets always have deeply discounted prices from some old season stuff, and I've seen new season stuff in there. That's the place you want to go to. Any of your major brands, definitely check out their outlets, find out where they're at locally around you, and I would definitely hit them up. Now that place right there, you can definitely fit into the budget, and you'll wind up finding yourself, you can buy probably 3 or 4 instead of that 2 or 3 pair. Let's just say if your budget was like $500. Now with retail prices creeping up to basically $200 a pair, you know, that really only leaves you with maybe 2 pair. You might be able to find some, you know, Air Force Ones or something like that, but 3 pair max. But if you go to the outlets, you can turn that 500, you can wind up finding probably 4 or 5 pair and still not spend $500. So tip number 3, find yourself some local outlets. That right there will definitely help you to pick up yourself some solid pairs and not hit the bank too hard. So that's tip number 3. Now for tip number 4. So tip number 4 is definitely a gem when it comes to purchasing shoes at heavily discounted prices, and that is waiting to the end of the season sales. Now these sales come each and every year from all the major brands, so you just have to wait around. Like I said, you might have to buy the actual boots in the summertime instead of in the wintertime, but you'll have your boots ready for the wintertime when it comes back around. And the same thing for summertime shoes. You know, low top shoes usually sell more in the summertime, high top shoes are usually more in the wintertime, so you might have to flip flop, but either way you're getting a good piece that you can add to your collection and not have to worry about paying full price, because that's at the end of the day what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to save money when we can. So like I said, tip number 4, make sure you catch those end of the season sales. I promise you, you won't be sorry. You'll at least get 30 to 40% off of the actual retail price, so you can't beat that. So that's tip number 4. Now for tip number 5, and our last tip that we have for you guys. So the final tip that I have for you guys, and I feel like this tip will definitely help to round out all the other tips that I gave you, and that is looking on the secondhand market. So, you know, from your Flight Club, to your, what's it, StockX, you got your GOAT, you got your Facebook Market, you got your eBay, you got your Facebook groups, you know, that sell shoes. I would definitely say dive into those secondhand markets and see if you can find, you know, those heavily discounted prices, or, you know, try to find some local boutiques in your area to see if you could get some, you know, used shoes, but they're still looking in good quality and for a good price. I would definitely say jump on it. Just because a shoe is used, you know, it's slightly used, it doesn't mean that it still can't be a good shoe that you can, you know, wear. Because sometimes a person only wears it 2 or 3 times, but they keep it up so it looks like a brand new shoe at the end of the day. So I would definitely say don't be, you know, have your nose up to, you know, used shoes, because you can definitely find some gems out there. So those are my tips that I have for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, you know, those tips to help you to navigate through the actual sneaker world as you purchase. It definitely helped me as I've been, you know, building up my sneaker collection, and I hope it helps you out. So definitely let me know if you like this type of video. Press that like and subscribe button if you already didn't. We definitely drop weekly content similar to this one. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, I can definitely drop some more that'll help you guys to, you know, navigate through the world, not when it just comes to sneakers, when it comes to just buying anything. So definitely let me know. And I appreciate you guys. Steps Ahead gang, you guys already know. Keep watching, keep subscribing, and keep going strong each and every day. Peace.